Hello and welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and today we are doing a sewing video. And this is just a quick table runner, and you can do this with just the width of fabric. All you're going to need is two different fabrics. You're going to have a main pattern and then your border, okay, your accent. The accent's actually going to have more fabric than the main print. And you're going to want to keep your print small. It's not going to, if it's large, you don't want it to get too large off the width of your table runner. So you're going to need 10 to 12 inches of the themed print. And then you're going to need 18 inches of a coordinating print. And these are both on the width of the fabric. Okay, so we're going to cut the fabric to size. We are going to place the right sides together. And we've got the ends here. We're going to stitch along the cross grain edges a 1/2 inch seam, or 3/8. My machine is set to 3/8 when I line it up here, so that's actually just where I'm going to do it today. Let's cut our yarn, our thread, sorry. Used to doing knitting. Okay, so we've matched the other side together, even though it's going to be offset a little bit, and I've flipped it upside down so I can start at the end of the tube because your width may be different on the other side. You may have two different fabrics with slightly different widths. You can choose to cut those off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. Make sure to line your fabrics up. We're going to press both seams so that the seam is away from the center fabric. And I'll show you that over at the ironing board. When pressing your seams, you don't want to iron your seams, you want to actually press. So you're going to put it down and push and hold for a few seconds and pop it up. And then come down and press and hold. Okay, so we're not rubbing, we're pressing. And then we're going to do this side. Okay, so now we're going to turn our fabric. We now have a long tube. Reach your hand inside. Turn it inside out. All right, we're at our ironing board. We want to put the main print, the theme print up, and make sure that we have even sides here. So in order to do that, we can take our thumbs. In order to do that, we can kind of measure with our thumbs and see where this side belongs and the other side, and see if they are even, and then just rotate them. Okay, so once I've got them into place, we're just going to press. And now we're going to trim any uneven ends that we have here. Okay, we're folding the fabric lengthwise, so the tube is like this. We've got the print or the featured print on the outside, and your coordinating fabric is on the inside. And we're going to stitch along this edge. Start at the fold. Make sure that these are lined up really nicely. If they don't get lined up nicely on this project, that's okay. You can add a button for hiding that seam or just for nice embellishment. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to fold this, and it's going to be folded together like this. And then if you did mess up on your stitch here and it's off a little bit, you can add a nice button here. But before we actually do anything to it, we are going to take this over to be pressed at the sewing machine, and you are going to fold these back and press them apart. Okay, so these will be pressed apart at the seam. So go ahead and finish sewing up the other end, and then we'll meet back over at the iron. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to press the seams open. We're going to press these open, okay, and we'll put them on the end of our ironing board. And we're going to turn the seams inside to form a point. Get that nice point there. And we're going to press. Turn the next point. Press. Okay. And then go ahead and iron out any other things that you need to do. If you've got any little stragglers here. And then you're going to add, if you'd like to add a decorative button, you could hand sew it on here and here. And you would just put in your button for a nice decorative finish. In this case, I'd probably use a nice buttercream one or even a lighter blue to pull out the accents of this fabric here. let me show you a runner that is already made. This is one I made for the fall, and we've added this decorative button on here, and then some neatly placed pumpkins and squash and all kinds of gourds and things like that. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial from Good Knit Kisses on sewing. Have a great day and happy sewing and crafting. Bye-bye.